Mufasa, you know we finally here, right?
Well,
It's Friday then. Mufasa.
What's going on, everyone? I am the Boomer Millennial, and this is our first Twitch stream. We're going to be doing a lot of, I don't want to say reinventing, but a lot of traveling down different roads for myself. So I'm a stay-at-home dad since January, and I've needed a little, how do I say, something extra in my life. I have a good life, happily married, one kid. I think my hobbies have always been very outdoors, camping, hunting, fishing, kind of loner lifestyle stuff. But all of those, really take away from my family, and I needed to do something that I want at home, something that's easy and relatively quick. So I've been thinking about doing some Twitch streaming, and I think it really fills what I want to do. I'm going to basically do the research and perusing of the internet that I normally would do, but I'm going to stream it. Also, I really want to get back into some fitness stuff, some lifting. I used to be pretty heavy into it. Right post-college, I was almost 200 pounds. I'm almost 6'1", and not big by any means, but I was in good shape, and I'd like to get back to that. I think that would be, another interesting topic to get into, is kind of my transition to be healthier from a physical standpoint. I want to do a little bit more cardio as well, and then financially healthier as well. I do a little bit of Mr. Money Mustache, personal finance, eating. Really want to get into it and kind of go, not do a Dave Ramsey show. I think Dave Ramsey kind of sucks. But do a just read what other people are doing, and give my input. And once we generate some more followers and have a decent community, we'll do it together. Go through what's happening on Reddit, and then we can even do some stuff for some chatters as well. So I think that it's Friday, April 1st, Fool's Day, and we're gonna do I think we're gonna pop in here right away. Friday.
Mufasa, you know we finally here, right?
well,
It's Friday then. It's Saturday, Sunday, what? It's Friday then. It's Saturday, Sunday, what? It's Friday again. It's Saturday, Sunday.
Getting wild.
What?
mint dark chocolate.
Let's go, let's go. Work, work, work. Hey, hey, hey.
This song doesn't get you pumped for a Friday?
No, you didn't.
Just iconic. Just absolutely iconic. Now let's get into it. So, if you're not familiar with Reddit personal finance, almost 16 million, 15.6 million people subscribe to this. It is one of the, let's say it's not an echo chamber. Pretty bad with echo chambers on all of Reddit, but this one is pretty sound information. It's very, I don't want to say too simple, but it is simple because people will explain it to you like I'm 5. Great way to pop some questions that are more newbie focused in personal finance, and there's other subreddits we can get into that are more technical and focused on early retirement, investing. We can do a little bit of, but I'm a boomer. My investing is pretty boring, but I think the base for this personal finance Reddit is, here we go. So this prime directive flow chart, which anybody who gives me any financial questions, I'm not a financial advisor, so I don't give investing advice. But this is personal income spending flow chart. Basically, whether it be advanced or super basic, if you follow this flow chart, you're set up for life. You can be on this step 3 where you're barely buying food and groceries to survive. But if you follow this and work your way up it, you're going to get there. Pending all sorts of crazy socioeconomic problems that the United States has and the world has. But yeah, it's a great way for someone who's new to just go down this flow chart, follow it. You can do little tweaks here and there, but basically this covers almost any advice someone could have for personal finance. With that being said, let's go to our personal finance. And let's do top. Since we haven't streamed for a while, let's do for a while. This is my first stream. Top posts this month. Oh, speaking of socioeconomic problems, this is something that's brought up a lot is, how does someone survive on $18 an hour? $18 an hour is, just do quick math here. Times 40 times 52, $37,000 and $440. So that is your earnings. Probably take another, multiply it by 0.85 for taxes. 40 times 52. So you're at about $32,000 per year. Tons of people out there have an income like this. It is difficult. Let's go into some of their expenses here. $18 an hour, over $800 a month in daycare. So, people always are talking about stay-at-home parents. I'm a stay-at-home dad. Luckily, we can afford the uh, the expenses through one income in my family, and the loss of my salary is somewhat offset by the daycare. We were about $900 a month for daycare, and that's pretty normal. And this is over $800 a month in daycare. So, $300 car payment, and that they list those at necessities, but there's so much more than that. You're looking at $800 a month, or math. Heck, let's do it on. Oh, $100. $100 car payment, just to be safe. Let's do $50 for a cell phone. Gotta have a cell phone. $50 a month for enough to $100 a month for food, and another utilities, $100, and then for another $100, whatever. Looking at 14,500 times 12. So 17,400 in basically living expenses, and what we were at 31, 32 minus. So they've got an extra 13,600 left over for other stuff. And again, we were very frugal, or very conservative with their expenses. I still live at home, so they don't have rent, which would go back to calculator, divide that $13,000, divide that by. So that gives them about $1,100 a month for rent, just to scrape by, which is not too bad. But that's not anything else, no cell phone updates. No, it doesn't look like they have any other expenses listed. Looking for side jobs for nights and weekends. I have my son 2 weeks out of the month, so I can't really swing that except in the 2 weeks I don't have him. So they're looking at basically, 4 days on the weekends and then 14 nights per month. Only a month into my current job. Job pays for gas. Wait, what? 500 miles a week in my personal car for work. Oh, got it. Let's see what the commenters say. Edit. And this is what I was going to say. One of the biggest savings you can have is to get roommates. Get that Midwest rental for a 3-bedroom apartment is probably, $1,500 a month. Divide that by 3, and now you're at $500 a month. Pretty cheap, and a great way of saving money. And here's another one. I told this to a ton of people. If I could still live with my parents, I would do it. They are. They are. They would drive me crazy. But I also would be saving, like I said, Midwest rent is $1,500 a month to mortgage payment of $2,500 or $2,500 a month. You can tolerate that nuts for a while. But then again, I get along with my parents, right? And we haven't had any issues, which I know family issues happen all the time. So it's not an option for everyone. But to save money, especially if you're like 18, 19, going to college, or even still in high school, have an awful fight or something, not serious happens where you're not in danger, put up with the crap and just stay at home. Um, Again, realistically, it sounds like you need to live at home until you're earning more. Due to COVID, childcare voucher programs are taking on kids from higher income families. I know because it did. Another good one is this childcare subsidies. Sounds like they are a single parent, and if you cannot uh, offset your daycare with income enough to basically break even, which $18 an hour is, looking at it, barely breaking even. Especially if they're going to get a place to live. Yeah, it's just not gonna work. So childcare subsidies are a great way for someone who um, needs some help with taking care of a kid. HVAC, and this is another big one, is $18 an hour is not great. You can devote a little bit of time to learning some trade skills, and you would be much better off learning basic construction if you can handle the. But yeah, it's, you want to make more than $18 an hour, especially, it sounds like, I don't know why so much in their personal car. But yeah, I think that a job like that should be more than 18 an hour. If you can learn AC, you'll make $20 an hour, and you can again, is trade skill stuff is again going back to skill sets. You're never going to break out of the cycle unless you have a skill set. Lead to a well-paying job. Get that it sucks living at home, but take advantage of it while you can. And I'm kind of torn on schooling. You know, I want to go to school to get a nursing degree or pharmacy or some schooling that directly translates to a career. I'm all for it. Plumbing, being an electrician are great ways to translate education directly to a career. I do believe that there are a lot of schools where, you know, business school is very vague. If you or biology, I did microbiology, got my degree in, and you know, you can get a job as a microbiologist, but they're not super focused and not always well paying. So you need something else to, you know, hone your skills and drive a career forward. So you need to internship while you're going to school, not just schooling. You'd also learn a trade or get technical certifications from a community college. And the problem is they have to keep their $18 an hour job while going to school, while living at home and having a child, because you can't just take a year or two off and go to school alone. So you have to do it online and evening classes and grind through it. It's going to be awful. Government programs for help. One problem with government programs is that a lot of them are have this kind of in between. So if you make less than, I don't remember what the number, but let's say it's less than $25,000, substantial government programs to that. And then like this person who is in that $30,000 range might make too much money to get any of those programs. So you got that like 530 and up gap in here where they're at. And if you're in that gap, you don't make enough money to afford housing, cars, daycare, and you make too much money to getting child assistance. So it's my guess is this person would probably make too much money to get a ton of government programs. And here it says that living with their dad, their total income, which again, it asks taxes ask for total household, but if this person is filing their taxes individually, they should not have to combine their dad's total income, which because you live together doesn't mean you need to file your taxes as a household. Upgrade your skills, upgrade your job, upgrade your pay. Now there's, I haven't seen it yet. There's a couple other options they could do. Here's one of them. Get a less expensive car. So a $300 a month car payment. Who knows what that is? Is that, you know, is it a 4-year car loan or is a 7-year car loan? You know, with the average cost of cars, new cars being $40,000 or something crazy. $300 is probably a relatively cheap car over a 4-year car loan. But you're still looking at a new car and a nicer new car. $30,000. We just bought a new RAV4 and it's going to come out to about so depending on where they live, Georgia, I believe, they likely do not need an all-wheel drive car. They do not need an SUV. If they are a single parent, they do not need a big car. They do not need a fast car. They do not need leather seats. They do not need a new car. With the way used cars prices are going right now, sell that car, get out of the $300 a month car payment, get a reliable, higher 70, 80,000 mile Corolla. Something small, something reliable. And especially if you're driving 500 miles a week and your company's paying for it. Get the car payment down to less than $100 a month, $200 a month. Or not even have that. You could make money off this car payment or make money off selling your car more than what you paid. A lot of cars now have positive equity in them. Like I said, if this is a 4-year loan, they're probably paying off quite a bit and not going to be upside down. Now, if it's a 7-year loan and they're upside down on it, that really won't be an option. But even if they break even and get a car that isn't going to be $300, break even on the car that they have and have another car that's $100 a month, they're still $200 a month in their pocket. And it doesn't really go into any of their other expenses, so it's kind of hard to see what they can cut out of. But yeah, a lot of people, I think, get into the situation where they are like this. They know that if they move out of their parents' house, they're not going to have enough money to survive. I've been there. Out of school, I didn't have many student loans because I worked pretty hard through school and was not, I wasn't $80,000 in student loan debt. But I got a job out of high school or out of college in that, $40,000 range, doing environmental permitting for a road construction company. They after rent, after being young and having a social life and going out and probably not being as frugal as I should have, there wasn't much money left over at the end of it. I didn't have a nice car. I didn't do a ton of investing with my retirement account, so it was scraping by. And luckily, I had roommates and lived in a pretty dingy, crappy house. And that's the only way that I survived, is having roommates. But where I was going with that is keep grinding. It gets better. Every time you pay off a student loan, that's more money that you can pay off the rest of your student loan with. That's more money you can put into your retirement account. It's more money to save for a car. It's more money to save for a down payment of a house. So it feels, especially when you're, 21, 22, 23, right out of college, it seems like it's slow, but it gets better. And, you really have to grind it out. Don't get sucked into cryptocurrency. Don't get sucked into meme stocks. See a lot of people doing option trading on Robinhood, and that's you can make money doing that, but it is basically a wealth redistribution, and not really investing. At some point with that, you're just someone is getting lucky and making money, and someone is getting unlucky and losing money. You're not, which you could say that with mutual funds as well, but it's more established, and you are buying something of value, a company, a business. Get a roommate and a cheaper car. Subsidized daycare again. Seems like about that. Paying down debt and saving 20% for a home bit us in the bud. Right out of college/grad school, my husband and I intensely tackled debt. Moved back to our home state while this was taking place. Looked at houses but weren't comfortable with the monthly payment since we only had 3% down, and I was looking to stay at home with the kids once we had two. Bid on a few homes at 10%, outbid by waived inspections. Saved 20% right as COVID hit and prices flew. Bid, but just couldn't beat off the competition. Couldn't beat the competition. Also now playing catch up with the down payment. Fast forward to today, prices have doubled, and the monthly with 20% down is larger than the first down payment with 3% down. Discouraged, depressed. Never for a second regret staying at home with my kids. So this is one of the crazy things with COVID that's happened in the last couple of years is home prices. I think it's crazy. We have a fairly simple home in the Midwest, and we have made, if we sold it, we probably could make 25%. This is just absolutely nuts. Other places, the coasts, suburbs along the coast. I know there was a huge move out of like New York City to the suburbs. You see it in San Francisco. There were a ton of people leaving. It seems to either not be in the news as much, probably the case, or it has slowed down. My guess is it has slowed down as companies have started to bring everyone back to the office, or at least reach some normalcy with having to be. Let's see what the commenters got to say. Agree with you, dude. People told me I was dumb for buying a house in 2019. You were not. I got lucky. I'm telling you this because a lot of people are trying to tell you what you did right or wrong. And it really was. That was all a house increasing 25%. Great luck. And the plan of saving 20% down to avoid PMI is completely fine. They should not feel bad for doing that at all. They just had bad timing with COVID and where they decided to live. A friend of mine bought a house at the very beginning of COVID when his job sent him fully remote. Unbelievably perfect time. He got a house for $200K that has easily doubled in value since he bought it. His mortgage is $1,500 a month. Man. There you go. Headline is wrong. Bad timing didn't mean you made a bad didn't mean you made bad decisions. And heck, they're saving cash. I mean, they've got 20% down that they can do something else with. My wife and I were kind of in a similar situation. We had 195,000 worth of debt and decided we weren't going to buy a home until we took care of it. Finally got all paid off and saved about $60,000. Finally got an offer accepted a couple weeks ago, and yes, had to overpay for it. Yeah, that is overpaying is crazy, and I think that I I am fine with overpaying for a home right now if something that you desperately need or is required for a big jump in your pay. To relocate. Don't overpay for pretty much anything else though. Cars is one of them. I was working with the local dealership on a new Toyota RAV4, and the local dealership said $5,000 over MSRP. Anything new in the dealership, yep, $5,000 over MSRP. Starting. You want a Camry? You want a cheap Corolla? $5,000 over MSRP. So I said, I'm not going to do that. Let's go talk to your manager. Nope, everything is $5,000. You don't buy it, someone else will. So I said, all right, we'll see you later. So I went to the next closest dealership who I've actually worked with before, just to see if, and of course, the first dealership said, oh yeah, every dealership's doing it. It's completely normal. So went to the next closest dealership who I've worked with before, back closer to my hometown. MSRP. Done. Write me up. It's going to be 6, 7, 8 months out before I get it. So I'm not in need of a car. But my current car has got 170,000 miles on it. It works fine. It's safe. But being in the Midwest, I am just really, really sick of driving a Prius in the snow and ice. I've done it. It's a 2012, so I've had it for 10 years. Had it hunting, bombing through fields, jumping snowdrifts, bumper smashed on it from hitting a giant roll of carpet going 75 down the interstate. It is a piece of junk, but it's been a great car. I think other than just normal maintenance, I've spent 2 evaporative canisters in the fuel tank go on it because I've driven so much dusty, dirty roads. And I believe each one of those is like $700 or $800. So I've done less than $2,000. Of maintenance. 10 years. I'm buying another Toyota. There's no doubt about it. It's going to be a hybrid. I want all-wheel drive. Doesn't need to be big. RAV4, here we come. Hybrid. So I think it'll be a good choice. And the used car market is just absolutely nuts right now. So people who, maybe get in a bad car accident and need something, and their car's totaled, they can't drive it anymore, and need something right away, they're in a tough spot because you're not going to get, unless you can luckily find something on a car lot close or that's in stock, which is not likely, or you're going to pay more for a new one because if it's on the lot, they're going to charge you more. Or a used one is going to be, again, 10% higher. Almost anything is 10% higher than what it should be. And probably 20 or 30% higher than what it was pre-COVID. So just crazy right now with the cars market. But yeah, I would, unless you need a car, try to find one at MSRP, a new one. If you can't afford that, man, it's tough to buy a $10,000 car that would have been, $8,500 or $8,000, even, $6,000. I'm kind of a car head, and I at some point would like a older Porsche 911 or Land Cruiser. I'm a big Toyota guy, so at some point would like to get kind of a cool car, even though they're awful financial advice. But yeah, I would like that. And those things, I mean, I was looking pre-COVID, was looking at, I had a Land Cruiser, no rust. Like it was a 2004, I believe, at like 120,000 miles, like $9,000. That thing now would be $20,000, over doubled in price. 911s, the older ones, not older, but in the 996 era, you're looking at a $30,000 car is probably now closer to $50,000 if you have the right one, manual, a Carrera 4S or a turbo. But that's here nor there. Just one of the things I love that I might not ever buy, but we'll see. I think when I'm working on my Twitch here, I have these follower goals, and once we get a community growing, then we're going to have sub goals, and they're going to be fun things like the follower goals are going to be things that don't really cost me anything, but the chat might enjoy, like every follower I get, I'm going to do 10 push-ups or 10 body weight squats, and then 5 followers, first 5 followers, I might have a mustache for a week. 100 followers, I'll shave my head. Just things that are just kind of fun. But I'll go into that maybe in a intro video that I'll post on YouTube or something. Let's see here. 70% of medical collection debt will soon be removed from credit reports. And let's read about this. This is interesting. If you don't know, medical debt, medical emergencies are the number one reasons for bankruptcy in the United States. So don't want to get into a ton of politics on this stream, but it is a shame that Americans consider America the greatest country in the world, and that the number one reason people go in debt is because something happens with their health. Not great. Now, you want to get into the technical stuff of it with insurance. I have a bunch of friends who are pharmacists. My wife's a pharmacist. And you can get into it with dentistry. You can get into it with hospitals, clinics, nursing homes, anything. The insurance system is messed up. And it's this kind of back and forth between the insurance system and hospitals, how they operate, medications that are given inappropriately, not unnecessarily. End of life care is insane. I mean, people who are spending tens, hundreds of thousands of dollars so their loved one, or maybe even themselves, which is, I guess it's your own decision to do that, but to help you live like a week longer is just blows my mind. But my level of comfort with death is maybe on the not on par with everyone else's. But yeah, let's go into this. So the 3 major credit reporting agencies announced Friday that they will strip 70% of medical debt information out of consumers' credit reports starting July 2020. Huh. Fantastic. Because again, this ties into, what happens when you have one of these number one reasons for becoming bankrupt from medical is your credit score is just shot forever. Not forever, but for a long time, and you're in big trouble for housing, loans for cars, jobs. There's a ton of things that you are excluded from for having bad credit. And again, a lot of it is just bad luck. Friday they'll strip. What is it? Why did they do this? Oh, if the debt has already been paid, they'll take it off. Agencies are also increasing how long it takes for that debt to appear. That's good. 6 months through a year, so you have more time to pay it off. Dang, this is nice. I need to. Part of this stream is that I need to pay attention to this more. I used to read so much personal finance stuff, and with having a first kid and being at home, I've really fallen off a little bit. And I got wrapped up in COVID news and now Ukraine. Been spending way too much listening to Hassan pop off on Ukraine. Has been considering a ban on medical debt before these changes are announced. Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. Here, as of the second quarter of 2021, 58% of bills that were in collections and on people's credit reports were medical bills. Yep. Nuts. 10% of Americans carry medical debt over $250. 1 in 10. Don't get sick. I'll tell you that right now. Why I really want to keep working on this being fit. I'm 38. Was working from home during COVID. Got pretty lazy. Oof. Need to get back to it. Which 70%? You're missing the important bit. Paid medical debts and medical debts under $500. Yeah. Read the article. Here you go. I recently had ACL surgery. I was extremely adamant the whole time about making sure every bill was paid immediately and asked, this is going to be where something was missed. Fast forward a few months. Yep. I get a collection bill in the mail for $250. I had paid almost $10,000. Needless to say, I lost my mind. Also to say, the heck with medical billing. Yeah. I mean, we went through this when we had our first kid. Is you can get stuff a year later from some random person who is just in the room. The medical billing process in large is just an absolute mess. So, and that's for something that's planned ahead of time. If you have something, or like this ACL surgery planned ahead of time, if you have something that's an emergency, you have one out of network provider in the room at the time, you could be done for. And now if we could just have actual medical debt removed. Yeah, it's a bummer. But great that they're doing something about it. Landlord says no water till Thursday. Hi. My landlord is having sewer pipe replaced in my house today. Calls me and tells me that it will actually be a multi-day job and we won't have water until Thursday. Offered to put it in a hotel or reschedule. I want to ask for a rent reduction. Stay with my family. How much should I ask? Don't care. Oh, no, I don't understand tax law super great, but I see this on personal finance pretty often where someone is claimed on someone else's insurance and they don't know it. Let's just read it and see where this goes. As the title suggests, I'm filling out my tax returns for this year and it was rejected because it said I was missing a 1095A form. Seems strange to me as I've been working at my company for 2 years. I'm insured through them, so I asked my parents that they and their plan for 1 month now included the form. Any feedback is appreciated. Oh, just pay a tax professional to do it for you. If you have anything that's more complicated than your income from a 1099 not 1099 but a regular income job, just pay someone to do it. I mean, it's worth the $300, or even less than that. Adding clarification and using online H&R Block and have filed and currently filed or single. Malicious intent, but we're working. Unfortunately, HR doesn't allow allocation. Yeah. The taxes are. Here we go. Did your tax software ask about how to allocate the premiums and tax credits? You need to coordinate with your parents such that allocation between sums 100% would be allowed. For instance, I'm a CPA and this is the correct answer. 100% should be allocated to them. You can do this on Form 8962 Part 4. So, again, pay a tax professional to do this. I have worked with a CPA who is also a CFP, which has been great for personal investing, personal finance. He's on board with the early retirement mindset where you are being frugal on saving and investing pretty much everything. But yeah, this is a prime example of having a CPA look at your stuff, pay him $100, $200, $300. It's better than messing up and doing something wrong and going from 225 $4,600. Am I crazy, or does it make more sense to buy a new car versus used at the moment? I would say yes. Just talked about this. Market for new car. However, given the insanity of the used car market, I'm wondering if it makes more sense to buy new in Boston. I'm seeing the 17, 18 vehicles are selling for a couple grand less or equal to starting price of the same. Oh. I'm not a finance expert by any means, but I came to the same conclusion when I got my car totaled recently. Nothing felt worth. Yep. Keep hearing horror stories about dealers adding insane fees because they know they have people over a barrel right now. They probably want to be asking the dealer for out the door costs when looking. Try to steal the conversation back to monthly payment, but don't let them. That's a big thing with buying cars. Know what your out the door cost is. Yeah, I people who are paying anything over MSRP right now for a, any just generic vehicle is nuts. I mean, if you want to do any sports luxury, something that's really nice, and you really, really want it, I mean, you're already paying more than the average car anyway. So paying a markup is fine. But like I was seeing some of the new Ford Broncos for, God, I want to say like $40,000-$50,000 markups on them. Now, some of them were just so that they would keep them on the lot as demo cars, so people wouldn't buy them. But I think people were buying them. $30,000-$40,000 on those the TRX, the Ram TRX, nuts. But those I can understand because you're already buying something that you don't need, so you likely have the money. So to pay that little bit extra, or even a lot extra, just to have a cool car, whatever, go for it. If you're doing it because or if you're paying over MSRP on a Corolla, a Kia, anything Kia, probably just walk away from it if they're paying over MSRP. Don't let them do that to you. If you can. And same with the used cars. If you know if it's something that's on the lot and you need it today, I mean you're in a tough spot. But yeah, fight for it as much as you can. I the dealerships are making hand over fist money, even just at MSRP. So like this local Toyota dealership that's $5,000 over MSRP is wild. A lot of people are going to be upside down in car payments at some point. And the car buying thing is huge in the United States. It's for the vast majority of people, it is a vehicle is the first or second or maybe first, depending on if you rent forever. First or second most expensive thing you will buy, um, behind or ahead of a house. So, and like I said, the average car in the United States is $40,000 now. Um, a lot of people in my Midwest neighborhood, nothing fancy, have $70,000 to $100,000 worth of cars in their garage. A lot of money. Um, and sometimes it's necessary. I mean, these Midwest towns where we might not have snow plowed for 24, 48 hours, really do need an all-wheel drive, four-wheel drive vehicle to get to work if you have a job where you have to go to work in a storm, or just to get out, or just to feel safe, even if it's not storming. Now, I said that, and I've had a Prius for 10 years and been mostly fine. But I've actually had some challenges with it where not really flying off the road getting stuck, but just not being able to do the things that I wanted to do. But yeah, cars are crazy right now. There's a lot of people buying cars. Locally, most new cars are selling over MSRP, or you have to wait 2 to 3 months. Yeah, I'm 7 to 8 months to get one for MSRP. Uh-oh. Looks like the sweet baby's waking up. We'll wait till she says anything. Nope, she just rolled over. All right. 10 years at my company, offered severance or 2 months. Find a new role internally. Interesting. Title says I've been at my company 10 years. They're restructuring my team. and had a bunch of us and a bunch of us have been offered severance packages or given deadline to file a new role with the company. Severance for me would be in the low six figures, about 200K. In order to qualify, I need to stay at the company for 2 more months and can only start a new job after my termination date. Nervous about being employed and finding a new job. I'm curious what others would do in my position or if anyone has been through a similar issue. Just went through this right before I had an internal move myself. A few more details people are asking. I'm in the US. He's doing well. Leaning towards taking the money, as most people suggested. I'm very risk averse in life, so it scares me, but I'm definitely underpaid. This is what was going through my mind. You know, a lot of people, I don't know, a lot of people, I think everyone should be applying for jobs all the time. If you have any free time, be applying for jobs. You have a good chance that you're underpaid. And the way people are hiring right now, there's a really good chance someone's going to pay more than what you're getting. So you should be doing that. And it's great to keep your resume up to date. And it's great to, if you do get an interview, to practice your interview skills. The more you do it, the more comfortable you're going to feel. So when you do need to find a new job, or when you are given a really good opportunity where you'd want to leave your current company, you have the confidence and the skills to nail it. And I think that is a great life tip for everyone, is that you should always be applying for jobs no matter how happy you are with your current role. Safe bet would be to stay and find something internally like they seem like they can. Take the severance and start looking for jobs. At 35, renting, fairly risk averse. It seems like they probably have enough savings to potentially last me 5 to 6 years. Oh, yeah. Take the severance and run. WTF, you're 35, not 78. Take the severance. Plan a sweet 30-day sabbatical. Yep. And here's another one. If their company really does love this person and they're a great employee, they will pay you to keep. They will pay to keep you. All right. I gotta go. Baby is awake. Not awake, but she will be awake. It's almost 3 o'clock. So yeah. Follow me on Twitter. Follow me on YouTube. I will be posting all my VODs on YouTube as well. And we're just going to keep doing more of this. Probably a short stream in the middle of the day during nap time if I feel like it, and then mostly morning stuff. So there'll be a tune in in the morning while you get ready for work. Pull it up on YouTube on your commute in. If you're West Coast and you missed the early broadcast, yeah, just really looking forward to covering personal finance. We're going to go into a little bit of fitness, health, diet and eating will be part of it as well. I think just general internet shenanigans. I really like the memes. Like I said, boomer, but I'm also millennial, so I like some internet stuff. But yeah, looking forward to keeping streaming. And until next time, see you guys later.